In this video, I'm going to talk about the #1 side hustle that anybody can start, especially during a recession. Recently, housing data was released that said that we were down 17% on housing starts in the economy. Housing starts refers to the number of new residential construction projects like single-family homes or multi-family dwellings that have started during a particular period. Now, housing starts are an important indicator to tell how healthy our economy is and as a measure to tell where we are during a potential recession because it gives trends in housing demand, consumer confidence, and financing for construction projects. So an increase in housing starts typically means that the economy is doing well, financing is good, and that builders are confident in the near future of the economy because builders are more hesitant to invest money into building new homes and subdivision and projects if they don't feel that they'll be able to sell these homes to potential buyers. And with housing starts being down 17%, there's some concern that we may be headed for a recession. Now, back in the recession of 2008, garage sales were booming. And this is the key to this entire side hustle. Many people were looking for extra ways to make money, how to declutter their home, because everybody was feeling some type of financial pressure. So with talks of a possible recession now, the same trend of a lot of garage and yard sales starting up soon is a very high possibility, and you can take advantage by starting a reselling business. So what's reselling? Reselling is all around us. Everything that we buy or consume, whether it's a service or a product, has been created by someone at a lower price than what they're selling it to us for. And this is the core of every business. And just by understanding this, you'll be able to open your eyes to all different types of businesses, even outside of reselling. So back in 2017, I was going through a really rough stage financially. My wife and I had just had our first son. I had made my career change, but I was still entry level and I wasn't making a lot of money. And I knew to get to the higher salaries in my career, it was gonna take some years. And I didn't have years to wait. I needed to make money then. And that's how I began reselling. I remember it like yesterday. I saw this video from Gary Vee and he started talking about
the 2017 flip challenge is this.
And I decided, well, I have nothing to lose to try this flip challenge, so let me try to sell some things that I have. I was intimidated at first. I didn't have a clue how to ship items. I didn't know how to price items. It seemed like a mountain that I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to climb. But over time, I started to realize that I didn't need to know everything. I just needed to get started and I would learn things as I went. So I started selling things that I didn't need anymore. I started selling a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes that I wasn't using anymore to try to get some initial money and then decide what I was gonna do from there. I had an eBay account that I had open for years, but I only bought things. I never thought about selling anything on that account, but I used that same account and I started taking pictures of these items with my phone. The lighting was terrible. I had no clue what I was doing. I had clothes laying on the carpet that I was taking pictures of. I just wanted to get started. I started to learn and research how to ship items through the post office. And by starting at the end of 2017, by the beginning of 2018, I had a few $100s that I had in my pocket now. And this is where the big decision was made. I could either take this money and ended up spending it somewhere else and not even remember what I did with this money a few months later, or I could use that money and to start to build some type of side business for myself. And luckily, that's what I decided to do. So I started to go to thrift stores and other retail stores to look for items that seemed underpriced. Since I was always big on clothes, that was the most logical thing for me to start with, was clothes. I started to slowly buy inventory, I started to slowly make more sales, and I will continue to reinvest that money back into the business. And this is where you can take advantage of these garage sales. When you see these people that are unfortunately having a rough time and they need to get rid of a lot of items, they want to sell these items, this is where you come in. You can buy inventory at these garage sales and then resell them on other websites like eBay or Poshmark or whatever you may choose. But specifically talking about websites for reselling, I prefer eBay, and there's a few reasons why. The first is a large customer base. eBay has about 135 million active buyers worldwide, which gives us sellers a huge audience of people that we could potentially sell to. The next is the platform is pretty easy to use. Once you get used to the configurations, eBay becomes pretty user-friendly. You have many tools that you can use to track orders, communicate with buyers, and also to manage your payments from sales that you've made. It's also really flexible. You can use the post office to ship your items, but if you prefer to use other companies like UPS or FedEx, you can also ship your items through them. It just depends on how you want to handle your own business. You also have access to international buyers. So eBay as a platform allows you to sell internationally in a pretty easy way. Normally, if you sell things overseas, you have to deal with customs forms and it can just become real complicated. Even for myself, I remember selling some Levi jeans to a country in Europe and having the jeans sent back to me because of their customs policy. They did not allow Levi jeans for whatever reason. But eBay makes this easy because they have a distribution center in Kentucky. If you sell an item internationally, all you have to to do is send the item to Kentucky, and they will process the item and send it to wherever the item was bought from. They'll handle all the customs, and you don't have to worry about anything else. You also don't have to jump through so many hoops to get approved to sell in specific categories or to list items for sale and realize that the platform itself has their own items that they're selling along with yours. Looking at you, Amazon. Now, there are multiple options that you can choose to sell on, but this is just my opinion. I feel like eBay is probably the easiest and the most straightforward one to get started on quicker to try to make some sales. Now, as far as starting, it's very common for people to start just like I did. You start by selling things that you don't need anymore. It doesn't make sense to go out and just start buying inventory if you don't even know what you want to sell or how you want to sell. So take inventory of things that you're not using, electronics, clothing, and those are the items that you're going to start with on reselling. This is good for multiple reasons. The first is that it gives you practice on seeing how to resell on these websites. You will learn how to ship, you will learn the process as far as talking with buyers, communicating with buyers, and just the whole process works as far as making a sale and making money. The second part is it'll give you a clue as to what you're interested in. I'll be the first to tell you that it's very hard to sell items that you're not interested in or that you have no clue about. This is why to this day I still sell clothes. So whatever you have interest in, whatever you are at least somewhat knowledgeable about, that's what you should start trying to sell first, because you're not limited. The resale market is extremely large. I mean, there are people that sell comic books, golf clubs, women's shoes, men's suits. I mean, there's everything. If you have an interest in something, there's a good chance that there's somebody else out there that has the same interest as you. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that since there's so many categories, you want to make sure you pick a category that's worth your time and worth your effort. You want to make sure that you're going to make enough money from each sale. I see a lot of people that try to drop ship items from China, these off-brand items, and they have a rough time because they have such a small profit margin. So then they have to pick it up by having high volume of sales to make some money. But since we're reselling most likely from home, the more volume that you have to sell, the more inventory is going to take up where you live. And this is why I like categories that have a higher sales price. To find something for $20 and sell it for $60 instead of buying something for $10 and selling it for $15. It's just not worth the effort in my opinion. So these are some categories that you can look at first to see how you may want to position yourself if you want to reinvest the money that you made from the items you sold from your own closet and from your own home. Now, once you decide on your category, it's important to try to get used to doing some type of initial research so you can know what sells. If you go to a garage sale or a yard sale and you just start buying random items and you don't have a clue if it sells well or not on eBay, then you're going to end up with just a bunch of junk and you won't be able to make money anyway. So let's say I went to a yard sale and somebody was selling some Levi jeans for $10. So I will go to my eBay app and I will look up pre-owned Levi jeans. So if I'm looking at the general range, I can see that the low end is around $15 and it can go up to as high as maybe $30. So my goal would be to buy these jeans for $10 and try to sell them for $30. But by buying the jeans at $10 and selling them for $15, I'll probably break even, or I may even lose $1 or $2 because of shipping and eBay fees. This is a very simplified explanation of how to determine if an item is worth the sale or not. I can go into greater detail, but that'll be the bulk of this video and we don't want to waste too much time. But this is the process for reselling. You compare the price that you're buying your item for and you try to get a sense of the average price of what the same item sells for on eBay. If you have a good enough profit margin in between, then it's probably worth your time to try to sell that item. And this is why reselling is the best side hustle to start during a recession or during market downturns, in my opinion. You see a lot of people that want to make some extra money, so they're trying to get rid of items, and you can use that same opportunity to buy items for your inventory. So you win and they win and everybody's happy. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.